Okay, that's another vintage cube draft here on the old Magic Online. And we've got some options. Hole Breacher. Okay, we've got one option. This Hole Breacher. Alright, Doomsday's cool to look for on the wheel. Marshflats is very good. Mum's very good. I think Marshflats, Mother of Runes, Hole Breacher are the main three, but Hole Breacher's just a little bit too cracked. When I first saw this pack, I didn't see the Hole Breacher. I was like, this Grizzle brand, Marshflats, Mum. But Hole Breacher, it will be. Wouldn't mind trying to wheel like Doomsday. I absolutely love a Doomsday list, and this is now a league. The leagues haven't been up for a while, and the league it's a bit more acceptable to try and do some stuff like that. So we'll look out for that, and then we'll just go straight into a red-blue, counter control, aggro control deck, I guess. Bit hard to pass Ragavan here. Yes, there's Tinker. Yes, there's the Jace for the Doomsday. Considers very good. Blood Crypt's very good. We're just going to take Ragavan. We'll take every Mana Leak and Lightning Bolt we can find. If there's a Volk in there somewhere, that'll be pretty cool too. Yeah, so Jace versus Fury versus Probe. I think Fury's a bit too... Like, Jace is cool, and I do absolutely love myself a Jace. But when it comes to these cards like Fury and Pyrokinesis, I know they're the same effect, but the 0 mana spells, which kill 4 of your opponent's creatures, are a bit much. Sneak attack, if it comes back, we'll take. We're just going to take Scalding Tarn. I've enjoyed this card, Satyr. We'll see how that goes. Quite a few good cards in here, like Chain Lightning, Satyr, Chrome Mox, Tarn, Sneak Attack, Skydiver, Foothills. Don't know if I'll get any of that stuff back, but it is good. Now we can just take a Tundra, I imagine. We can get Tundra off Tarn. So that's Satyr on the wheel. It's a late Pest Infestation actually, but I'm just going to take the Tundra. And then there's nothing particularly exciting here. We could Verdant. Fetch lands are good. I don't want any of these cards. Or we could Cryptic Coat. Cryptic Coat I've only really found good if you get the Academy, right? And you're doing that sort of thing. I'm going to take Verdant and see where our fetch lands take us. All of these cards are nonsense, and it's then Titania versus Showdown. And I think the upside on Titania is a bit higher. We're kind of getting aggressively cut from blue. So we'll end up in some sort of Gruul thing. That'll be quite tasty. I'll take Once Upon a Time. Another 0 mana effect. We've got the Scalding Tarn and the Verdant, so we should be able to get into the Hole Breacher at the very least. And that means we might be able to do something like Hole Breacher Wheel, right? That gives us a lot of opportunity for that sort of thing. But if we can end up Teamer with a Safekeeper or a Zero Orb, that'll be grand. I unfortunately don't think we can Doomsday just because of how lacking our blue cards have been, but I'm not against a Dragon's Rage Channeler here. Bit of an interesting start, but with the fact that we're looking like we're going to be moving towards some sort of red, maybe Gruul deck, the Verdant and Scalding Tarn will come in handy there. Yeah. I would like to be able to utilise our Hole Breacher more, but there's a few people to our right who are just taking every blue card. Okay, so on the wheel there's Commercial District, or there's Blood Crypt. I guess we take Blood Crypt over Commercial District. Our two fetches already get red and green, not together but separately. But this just gives us 3 black sources for a little black splash, and Commercial District's fine, but it's not like wild, right? This Tundra's questionable at this point, but we can still get to it with Tarn, so we'll keep an eye out just in case we get like a 4th Aerlingus or something like that later. But maybe with this sort of thing, we're supposed to look at those domain creatures as well, like your Carvus and those sorts of guys. That said, Tribal Flames is cool, but Headliner Scarlet is probably the place to be. That or Beseiju. I imagine the Scarlet's aggressive enough. And then yeah, I'm happy with another 4-drop. I'm not sure if I'm going to get there for Satya, but she's been pretty dope so far. And then a free Natio is not to be turned down. Shadowy Backstreet doesn't look very good, so I'm going to take a 5-drop, and that's just quite how I like to draft, you know, just only take 4s and 5s. Can't really go too wrong. Vintage Cube, definitely a format where you can do nothing for 4 turns and then play a 3-5 menace. Certainly that is the place. Oh, Vengevine will probably get played though, that's quite cool. Oh, now there's... Right, how much can we leverage a Vengevine? Good lord, does that sound fun. Bob, Shieldred, Strip Mine. Strip Mine with Titania is pretty nutty. I think I'm going to take Strip over Shieldred, which might be awful, but I'm going to do it. And then what would we get back? We get back a Cobra. Maybe, we probably didn't get back Cobra. Maybe the white, maybe the Archfiend. So maybe the white, maybe the Archfiend, maybe the Satyr. Yeah, let's take Strip Mine. And now, what's here for us? Goifuatli, Noble, Petal. Highest shade is good, but I don't think I'm going to be that deep into white. I'm going to take the Noble Hierarch. So we've got a good range of 1s here. Nishoba Brawler for the wheel, Hogak for the wheel. Then it's between Lelia and Arid Mesa. I think I'm going to take the Arid Mesa over Lelia. Did we see Bazaar in pack 1? I can't imagine we did. Right, then Tiger. Or Barrow-Goyf. I think it's time we took a Tiger. Because Caryatid, Nantuko, Rampaging, Raptor, Mind Twist, all on the wheel here. But this means all of our lands get blue, red and green. And then Village the Pog, Stitcher Supplier, or Ramanap. I think I'm going to lock in the Ramanap. So we've got Strip Ramanap, Titania. We've got a natural order there as well to consider. I need to remember that, so I'm going to actually put natural order over here somewhere. I'm less and less convinced about these blue cards the further into the draft we go. I think we're just going to be Gruul with some aggressive slant, but a land package as well. There's also the thing with the Hogak Vengevines. There's some lizards in the cube. I've got Once Upon a Time to go and find a Bazaar. Stitcher Supplier was there. Satyr Wayfinder can be good in that sort of thing as well, where we move away from being quite so aggressive, but a bit more just like dumping cards into the graveyard sort of thing. Plateau is really good if we want to do Satyr stuff, right? And I've got 3 blue sources, 3 white sources, 4 white sources. Or there's just a Fable passage, but I think I'm good for fetches. Questing Beast is very good, but I've got 2 Hasty 4s already. So I'm going to take Plateau, because that means I probably get to play the Satyr, and that's a bit more fun. Generous Plunderer just seems good as a 2-drop, right? Oh, there's a Zuranor to go with our Titania. So let's nab that. Let's nab that. So then, yeah, because that Plateau pick, so Arid Mesa, Scalding Tarn, both get Tundra, which gives us blue for our 2 cards. And then Arid Mesa, Plateau, Scalding Tarn all works together as well for the same objective. So I'm going to see if we can get there on those. I'm going to take the elf here. as discussed with the Tiger, pick up all of our lands, all of our fetches, get red and green. Satir might still be a bit of, like, hopeful. Because I have to get exactly Tundra and Plateau at some point, don't I, to get that into play, I think. So maybe that's a bit hopeful, but... So I do like Bob, but my deck costs 4 mana. I'm going to take the Wayfinder. That's going to work well with our natural order. And that will help us find Titania, that will help us find Ramanov Excavator off of these little nerds down here. And whilst that's not like, you know, the Atraxas and Woodfalls we dream of, with the Strip Mine in our deck, that still works. So, like, it's still acceptable. Looking for fast bonds, really. And then we've got 2 good hasty threats. Huatli, Tarmogoyf, Devoted Druid. There's a lot here, isn't there, for us? Huatli finds lands, but I think I'll just take Glorybanger. Just... I'm not stripping you, I'm doing something else. And we'll take Hogak just in case we get there. So yeah, the moment we've confirmed some land drops, we'll start hasting people dead. We'll take an Nantuko. Nantuko works pretty well with the fast bond and exploration that we're going to get in the next pack. Pillage versus Stitcher. 1, 2, 3, 4 black sources. I'm going to take a Stitcher. Stitcher's pretty fun with our Gak over here. Not sure it's true, not sure if it's something that we're going to do, but... No, the Reliquary could be interesting as well, actually. And I've got Plateau and Tiger down there. So there's Minsk and Boo, which will be the pick for now. And then there's a Witness, a Crop Rot, possibly a Survival on the way back round. But for now, we'll add 4 mana haste creatures to our deck. It's going to be very possible and very probable that we just have to cut all of this crap here. And just be like, look at our Gruul deck, you know. But Stitcher's Supplier and Hogak, I think, is the package I'm most interested in at the moment. I think the Tundra needs to be in the deck for some reason. I'm not sure why at the moment. So there's an Exploration, which I think I do take. Fintornails or Peatland for the wheel, but Exploration with a Strip Mine and a Crucible should be splendid. I don't have anything at the moment that cares about land types, so like there's a very, very good chance we just get to the end. Well, so I've got, what did I have? I had a Plateau. So Arid Mesa and Scalding Tarn already get Plateau, but the Tundra means that it's a second plains for both of those. It's probably worth playing. Prime Time or Billium. There's Ketria Triumph as well, but I don't think I'm actually doing any of that blue nonsense anymore. I think I'm just going to be like, these are my Gruul creatures. I think for that, Bristly Bill is best. So Stage Tomb, Ghost Fire Slice. I've got to be a great Ancient Tomb deck, right? Yeah, look at all those 3s and look at all those 2s down there. If I can get Dracosaur or Flame Slash back, that'd be great, but the Ancient Tomb looks like it's basically power in this deck. From this there's Dismember. I think Dismember's going to be the pick, because whilst Green Sun's Phoenix and Chariot are all good, it would be nice if we had an interactive spell in our deck. So take our Dismember, let's enjoy it, and then... And what's this doing? This is a Crucible, but we're not very good at finding our strip at the moment, right? We've just got the Once Upon a Time. So I think we just take the 4/4 Hasty threat. Elvish Reclaimer. Yeah, Elvish Reclaimer seems great. That actually does go and get our Crucible, right? Our Strip Mine, sorry. Also does our Knight of the Reliquary. There's the Bazaar at last, but I don't think I'm actually able to do that, so I think I'm just going to drop this stuff. Refuse the Temptation. 32 less 9. Arwen's allegedly good, I've been told. Arwen or Library? I struggle to see why it wouldn't be Library. And I'll take a Crop Rot. It's survival, there's Unholy Heat. A Crop Rot's the third way for us to find, for fourth including Once Upon a Time, to find our Strip Mine. What do these cards do for us? This goes to the graveyard for Titania on its own, so let's try that. The card says land on it. And I'll take the Flame Slash for interaction. I know there's a depth in the pack after this, but I don't see the need. Really. Tundra is a second white for Scalding Tarn, so I think we do get away with playing that. Tiger's obviously busted. Blood Crypt and Nurturing Peatland are fetchable tap lands that can reduce the cost of Dismember. But that might just not be relevant. All my lands get the Blood Crypt though. I'm going to have to cut some cards here. I'm not playing Lingering Souls. The Crucible comes back around. Interesting stuff. I don't think I'm ravaging. Right, is the Nantuko good? It's just a creature every turn, right? I don't have a Cradle or anything. Do any of these lands just like not do anything? I think I'm fine with just Tarn Plateau, Arid Mesa. Verdant doesn't get it. So maybe I just don't play the Knight of the Reliquary because I need to make some cuts. Which means I don't have to play the Tundra. Which means these all get Tiger, these two get Plateau, but I don't need Plateau if I'm doing that right, because everything just gets Tiger, and that's all we care about. There's the Blood Crypt, which I think is fine. Yeah. So let's put these guys in a pile. $27. I'm not sure about this natural order in the end. I'm sure it could be good, but it doesn't look insane. 2 Crucibles. It's probably not necessary. Primeval Titan's just expensive, right? It's just a 6 mana trampler. Not particularly exciting. We've got 3 mana dorks in Ragavan, Llanowar, and Noble Higher Up. So I can probably get away with 16 lands, which is just one more cut from this. I'm wondering if it's just supposed to be the Springheart Nantuko. And then we bring all these guys back in. And we have a green slant. Why would you want to put a swamp in here? What's a Dismember? No, thank you. So then in terms of like a mana count, looks like that's a few too many red sources for what we're actually doing. I think the Blood Crypt's fine to play, right? And the Peatland. So what's that? 8, and then these two don't do anything. And then we get, so 9 green, and then exactly 9 red as well. Okay, yeah, so maybe that's fine. I think I can consider. I'm on Ragavan, so I probably want another additional red because Ragavan does have diminishing returns. I think the later in the game, I think the Dragon's Rage Chandler could definitely be cuttable as well. I wouldn't be shocked at that. Maybe the other Crucible in exchange for like a prime time, but my top end looks so good, right? All my 4s have haste. Fury is a 0. Yeah, I think this looks fine. Okay, so we're up against Dr. Doom 88. It's the 88th of his name. And they're all doctors, so quite the heritage. I'm gonna keep this. This looks fun. How quickly do we snap off the crop rot though, you know? Island. Let's just go forest first. And let them chill. So we could just go forest, crop rot. And strip you. That doesn't sound great to me. This doesn't look great to me. So we'll take a turn, we'll pray for a red card. We got one. Ancient Tomb. Fury will play around days with. And then we'll deal 3 and 1 to kill that. Johnny triggers on the way out the door. So they get that clean 2 for them. Then we get to play Crucible Worlds. So Johnny's gone, which is nice because that card's annoying. And they've got Jason's Prodigy. Cool. And provided no force of will, we should just be able to send them back to the Stone Age here. So I'm going to rotate out a forest. I'm going to get a strip mine. We'll strip this land. And we'll strip this land. We'll play a Zero Knob. And we win. Cool. Cool. Our opponent does not want to play anymore. Maybe I am supposed to be on this. But I'm cutting like cheaper cards. I think I'm always cutting cheaper cards. That's my issue with it. I think Springheart and Tuco seems better than Bristly Bill against whatever this is. Right? Just because if they're playing Ajani's and Jaces, there's no point in having a bill that just gets ploughed. We may as well leave some game objects in play behind. That's going to be my argument. The Nantuko I found really good. Bill I found to be like reasonable. The reason I played Bill here is it's just a bit more power and toughness and a bit more aggressive. I think they're both fine. I think the Nantuko's fun with the Nardu stuff. I'm not sure what Bill's in for. There's like the new Bloomborough Luminarch Aspirant as well, isn't there? Which is super sick. So we'll keep this here. We've got turn 1 Ragavan. But if we can once upon a time into a strip mine, I'll be happy to do that. So let's take our draw step. Oof, Mince Gimbu. We'll cast this. Larel, Springheart, Nantuko. What's my mana like? My mana looks fine. I'm going to take the Oddity, I think. So I'm just going to throw 4s at them. And then we'll play Tiger. And cast Ragavan. And that's going to ask a lot of questions in itself. Yeah, I feel like the constant barrage of 4s will probably break through whatever they've got. And they're starting from next turn as well, so if this connects, see if we get pathed or ploughed here. Tell me about your Time Walk opponent. Tell me about the Time Walk on top of your deck. City of Traitors. Huh. So I could play City. We could play City, resolve Minsk and Boo, and have a 4-4. And then next turn, I play Oofenwald Oddity or Headliner Scarlet. Yeah, right. Oh, I can't play City because it's Ragavan. Okay, so ignore all of that, and then that's a shame. Let's shock in a Blood Crypt. It can be played until end of turn. You may cast that card. Cool. Well, thanks, Modo. I'm gonna place that here, Wayfinder then, which is a lot less exciting than Minsk and Boo, but so that was a lie. I couldn't play that until end of turn. I could cast it until end of turn. So here comes Wayfinder. We get our Strip Mine to the hand, and then it's over to the opponent to decide how much more they want to play. City of Traitors goes to exile. So the dope thing here is that we're going to strip them or we're going to play a 4-mana card, and it's going to be insane. Do we just go to combat first? Or do we just start throwing 4s at them? I think I just strip them. Strip mine their Jetmir's Garden because that's their white source. No, we could rotate into Ancient Tomb, but that sounds like a way for us to get in a lot of trouble. A true name. I accept. I've got to play blue, blue, haven't I? Yeah. Blue. Blue. Mana drain. Sure. Memory lapse would be a problem in that spot, wouldn't it? I didn't think of that. So I get to drain through 3 mana here, which is better than them draining 4 of our mana. End step, okay, they just want to mana drain their own spell and then concede the match. I was thinking here, end step, I would be rotating away the Blood Crypt into the Ancient Tomb, so I'm back onto my 4s. I'm sure I could have played that in a more aggressive way. But there's also like, is there a need to? There's no need to risk our spells when we can risk their spells, right? So, see you for round 2. Okay, round 2, we're up against Matorenti Corpedro. 1. We've got a pretty nice opener here, haven't we? We can explore into a noble. There's just no turn 1 where you're not like excited to top deck Strip Mine, is there? Didn't happen. So exploration. We'll play the forest, and I'll play the noble. And we'll pass there. So forest for opponent into Lotus Cobra. Red source? Red source. So this just gets mountain, right? And then this can get Tiger. And I just cast Fury and your Cobra just fucking dies. Like, that's a large explosion for a Cobra to deal with. You're okay. And now I'm attacking with a 4/4 double striker next turn. So this Lush Portico kind of needs to cast a Plow or a Path this turn. Quite drastically. That's blue into blue. Walk. A Talisman. Okay. You're going to take 8. Oh, you're going to take a lot more than 8. Cast Minskin Boo. And I'll cast this just in case they're like wheeling and dealing and stuff like that. In for 10. They're dead on board. Cool. That was a sick draw. Like, we were still doing okay. But now we're just doing exceptionally well, right? Corsair Crew Fix is fine. Oh, Fractured on top is not actually an issue, I don't think, is it? Nah. They need a removal spell as well right now for one of the creatures. Magda. What does Magda do? Temple Garden. Corsair, sure. No, thank you. Oh, Glory Bringer. We drew some very good cards here. Put the counters on the banger, and then we can extort the banger into the Corsair, and the Boo will trample over for the lethal points. Nice. 2 pretty good top decks in a row. Once again, we're going to look at... Oh, not Once Upon a Time. We're going to look at diversifying. I think this should just actually be the way around it is. I think the Nantuko should be in and the other dude should not. This build's so bad against spot removal, right? This is quite a familiar hand as well. So we're going to get to Once Upon a Time, cast Ragavan, dismember whatever's in the way. One, 2, 3, 4 mana. Ragavan's probably going to make some mana. So we can afford to take a Dragon's Rage here. And then I'm going to Scalding Tarn for a mountain. And cast Ragavan. Then we'll be able to cast Channeler, dismember your blocker, hit you, get a Surveil trigger in. So Island, Safekeeper. Uvenwald. So we'll play Forest. We'll play Dragon's Rage Channeler. I am happy if this eats a land, to be honest with you. I don't really mind that. So I get a Surveil as well. Flame Slash. I'll top the Flame Slash because that's just going to Stone Rain them again next turn. Whilst I spit out insects. Okay. Looks like we get in. I get a Lush Portico, which you can't actually cast or play the lands off of Ragavan. Just thought I'd let you know. So whatever they put into play gets Flame Slashed. They will get Flame Slashed once I've played Springheart Nantuko and fetched up my Tiger. Right, so I'm going to have 2 more threats. And another Surveil. Opponent looks up against it here. Because my Surveil can also get me Delirium if I find like the Crucible or something. So 2 more cards. So Talisman into... Okay. So I'm going to have to discard a card here. I have to discard a card. I think I'm going to discard the Glorybringer, which means I select these three. Done. Done. And now I can draw Flame Slash, play a Verdant and fetch Tiger, and then we're going to play the Oddity and attack for 4. And then if I draw on that land next turn, I can enchant and copy the Oddity. And that will be the plan. Opponent's got 3 cards. Another removal spell is very good against us right now. But the idea is for the rest of the game, every land we play will be a Spring Heartland Tuco. Well, not Spring Heartland Tuco. Every land we play will be an Ubermord Oddity. So, let's cast this with Bestow, I think. I think I can ignore Nardu for a moment. Play this. Create a token. Attack you for 9. You go to 2. Cool. I mean, like, if you Nardu me, then that's super sick and really cool. Bristly Bill. Land drop. Okay. Headliner Scarlet to hand. That's not enough. We win. That was cool. Bit gambly, but just the fact that we're just putting them so insanely dead is pretty cool. So yeah, see you for the finals. Okay, so final round, we're up against Beta Blue. And we've got this hand. We've won the die roll. So I think I'm going to lead Hierarch. And then I can play Bill. Then I can play Mountain, Channeler, Pump, Bill. Something like that. Does that make sense? I think so. I think that makes sense to me. Lead on Hierarch and then dump the power next turn. Over to the opponent for their first turn. It's a Ralgrim Triumph. So we are going to put a bunch of power into play this turn. Cast Bristly Bill. Play a Mountain, Pump Bill. Play a Dragon's Rage Channeler. I am at this point convinced that the Bill would be better as an Nantuko. And I'll be convinced of that up until the point that my opponent plays a 2-2. Lightning Grease. This is another Nardu gamer. That's really funny. So let's cast Once Upon a Time. I don't need Zero Orb. Arid Mesa, Ubermord Oddity. Verdant. We'll take the Mesa because that's going to fetch us some red. We'll play Mesa. We'll pump the Dragon's Rage. We'll fetch a Mountain. That's going to pump Billiam. And then we'll play a Llanowar Elf. And we'll be very, very cold to balance. So in we go for 6 on turn 3. With 1 creature dying away from the Dragon's Rage getting Delirium. Next turn we'll be able to do some pretty cool like Bill activation where our team will get very, very thick, very, very fast. This looks like a Nardu. It's a Sentinel of the Nameless City, and I think we can just bash through that, to be honest with you, without too much drama or hassle. It's a 3/4. It's going to attack me. Shroud and Haste and Vigilance. I get 2 maps for their troubles. We drop to 16, so Scalding Tarn. Counter on Dragon's Rage. And we win. Because we're going to attack them and we're going to double our counters and their creatures are going to die. Sorry, I kicked to the wall. And their creatures are going to die and this doubles all the counters on stuff. Yeah. Seems good. Alright, I'm happy to run the bill back, I think, this time. And what have we got? What have we got? Yeah, no, nice turn 2 Crucible with a Once Upon a Time as well. And a Hierarch, we can go get our Tiger. So Forest. Ooh, Sylvan Safekeeper. That's interesting. Let's to go Once Upon a Time first of all. Do we need more lands? Or do we need more dudes? I would have minded if there's a red creature here. I'm going to take Billiam. And then I'm going to fetch my Tiger. And play a Noble. And then we can play Bill. Ah, I fucked that up. Oh no, I didn't really. I don't think I could have done anything else actually. Okay, so just going to trade Hierarch for Noble. We'll play Bill and pray for no Nadu. My Bill's probably going to be quite big quite soon. So more forests. No blocks. I don't know what that attack means. I'm not willing to find out. Ragavan. Let's go Verdant and pump Bill. Let's fetch a forest. And pump Bill. We can dash Ragavan. And then attack the opponent for a bunch. They take 6. We hit planes. Do we gain anything from rotating away a forest and killing a forest? We get a bigger Bill. And then we get to Crucible the next turn. So I think we do that. So let's rotate out. The reason I didn't rotate for the extra damage a moment ago was that I was quite interested in finding out what we see off of their cards, right? So Bill's a 5/5, and we're going to Crucible lock them next turn. Ragavan goes back to our hand, and the cool thing about that is the presence of Fury in our hand, so we maintain red card. They get to fetch for something. They get Savannah. Savannah is Stoneforge Mystic. Stoneforge gets Caldera. So we can probably get them quite hard here. Forest. Let's play Crucible. Let's Crucible the Savannah, and then we'll Fury them later. Let's Strip Mine Savannah, sorry. Oh, Bill's big, by the way. And then Strip Mine your Savannah. And then we'll attack for a bunch. Still going to Fury them, because if I get another land out of them, that's quite cool. We win the match. And we walked that quite quickly. Is that either I didn't press record at some point, or 45 minutes is pretty obnoxious for a cube draft, but 3060. This was our deck. We had lots of different options in the board, right? Hull Breachers and a blue splash, Knight of the Reliquary, you know, a lot of nonsense that we could have played. Spring Heartland Tuco versus Bill, I think, was close. I think they both showed that maybe they were worth a slot in the deck, maybe over something else, I don't know. But just, you know, efficient green beats, and, you know, there's a suite of 4-drop haste creatures in this cube, which are very, very good. And we also had a Disrupt Develop package in Strip Mine, one of the best 0 mana cards in Fury. Enough to push cards out the way, Flame Slash Dismember Fury. Hasty threats, a little bit of ramp to play those 4s and 5s a turn early. You know, you got to take the luck when it comes. Admittedly, we did top deck, like, what was it, like Minsk and Boot into Ubermord Oddity or whatever it was, into Glory Banger. I don't know. That's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, right? Sick league, sick games, and I'll see you again.